Hi, good morning to you. Welcome back to Shaving with Fuzzy. I'm Fuzzy. Hi, y'all. So, my Williams Wednesday turned into Williams Thursday morning. Happens sometimes. I was going to shave. I did a video on the original safety channel and for the giveaway. And then I was going to get a Williams Wednesday shave, and I'm old and lazy and laid down and went to sleep. So, Williams Wednesday on Thursday morning. It's a thing this week. So there we go. So anyway, I'm sleeping, and as has happened before, I hear this familiar crunching sound outside. Just past the den here, and I'm pointing like y'all can see where I'm. But anyway, there's a curve, and it's a steep curve. And even sober in daylight, it's a fun curve to get around if you're not slowing down and drunk at night. Sometimes people don't make it. I've lived here about 5.5 years now, and yeah, there's been several of them that wiped out. So what they do is they come around and they hit a car in a parking lot, and then they shove that car across a little ditch into the next parking lot and under a Chevy Colorado, and the truck sitting up like this with the car buried all the way up to the windshield under it, and then they drove off. I heard them. I was throwing some clothes on, because usually when you go out there, there's someone walking around dazed going, hit something. It's like, yep, you did. So anyway, so they drove off, and I don't even think they found them. One of the neighbors said it was a pickup truck. I don't know. Maybe it was a Ram. I couldn't resist. You know, I drive a Ram, so. But anyway, that was my morning. Woke me up, and I said, well, need to do my Wednesday. My Williams Wednesday. So I made me some coffee. And this is not the normal Cafe Bustelo or the normal French Market. This is Rev, and it's no surrender. It's a really dark roast coffee. I think maybe it's a bold blend. Got more coffee in the cup. It's probably got extra caffeine too. Called no surrender. I've used it before, and I wasn't sure last time I got it if I was going to buy it anymore, but I do. And one of the things is price. It's I don't remember exactly what the price was, but it's a big box, and it's cheaper than some of the smaller boxes of like Community and stuff. So it's a good stout dark roast. No chicory. Can't have the chicory in it. But anyway, it's a good stout dark roast. So that's what we're doing this morning is the red. No surrender. Okay, good stuff. So I got to thinking about razors, and I haven't shaved with any of the newfangled gems in a while, and that's a little strange. And then I shaved with the, I've got the Tensor 3D, and someone was mentioning that it shaves a lot like a very efficient featherweight, and I got to thinking that's a pretty good description. So I dug out a featherweight. This is a featherweight, a GEM featherweight, made in the 50s if I remember correctly, and then there's the Tensor 3D. So it's a similar head shape. And I will tell you that the Tensor is a lot more fun and razor than used. Now, the good old featherweight here is a milder razor. There's no doubt about that. But of course, razor to razor, blade to blade, milder does not mean it's not as efficient. So you have the featherweight, and it had a cousin, the heavy flat top, also known as the G bar, because it's got a G in the handle there for the GEM. I think the British models were the Everready, and they had an E bars. Anyway, heavy flat top is what the actual name is. I think in some places, and again it may be the English version or something, this was the Slim V maybe. Someone corrected me if I'm wrong, because there's a lot of people better on the history than I am. But anyway, the heavy flat top. So you had those two, and in late 1950, as I remember, 58, 59, you had the push button, which is absolutely a beautiful razor. See, I'm still trying to hold it over here, but the camera lens is actually on that side of the phone. So anyway, there we go. So and you opened it, you push the button under the back, the top pops out, you put the blade in, you push the button back, and it closes. And to me, there's obviously some little difference in the caps. I think the heavy flat top is closer to what the G bar is there. But even though there are some little differences, I think the shaves are all pretty much the same. There's really not any difference to me in the shades. I know there's people that get that there's a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and okay, so yeah, don't get it. We're going to use citrus must today that I've decanted into a glass bottle a while back because I thought it looked really cool. And even when I did the label, the label worked good on this one. So, yeah, worked out good. I like it. Martin Williams today in our heart mug. I wonder if they're still making those. I bet they are. Anyway, it's a really nice mug. It looks wood. It's not. And then, as I've said before, everybody should have a small 1305 brush. And I'm going to use mine this morning. So that's going to be the shave. That's what it's going to be. And as you see there, it got a couple of days worth of growing out. I was off yesterday and should be off again today. Nothing blows up, and then back to work the weekend. Ironically, I don't know if it's really ironically the word I want to use, but anyway, we're back to normal crazy on the schedule, and it looks like actually crazy has settled down because we finally got enough people to cover everything. Thank you, boss lady. We've been training new people, and that's always fun, but we've got some good people, so hopefully everybody sticks around and the shift gets back to normal. Of course, you missed the all that overtime, but you missed all that time off, and squirrel season's coming up, so the time off is going to be important. It's time to get back to fishing and catch a few catfish and go catch a few tree rats. Introduce them to high velocity lead poisoning, as I like to call it. I mentioned high velocity lead poisoning the other day, and someone looked at me like, huh? What? Yeah, I'm going to shoot them. I'm going to shoot them. Don't feel too bad about them, though. They got a really good chance of getting away. I make the joke sometimes that when I go to the range, I buy the whole target. I use the whole target. It's not like I just shoot the center out of the target and go about my business. My brother is a lot better at that than I am. But anyway, while we've been yapping here, we did our face prep, wiped our face down, and we got some good old Martin Williams on the old boar brush here. So yeah, I did a video over on the original safety channel about the giveaway, some of the different soaps we're giving away. I threw in a cake of Colgate. I thought it was barbershop to start with, but it looks like it's actually the cup soap. And not that it matters. Again, I don't see any difference in the different ones. So that's over there. Check it out if you get a chance. It's also posted at Toast. And the neat thing is, I don't normally use my computer to do the YouTube videos. I do them on my cell phone. But my cell phone, for some reason, doesn't want to let me log into the original safety channel, so I had to use the computer. So I uploaded everything from the computer and whatnot. Didn't think a thing in the world about putting a description or a name or anything. I just stuck the video out there. So thank you, Ordinary Shaver, for going back and fixing that, because again, maybe I'm getting a little old. I don't know. Alright, so let's put a blade in the old push button. I think this blade is still good. If it's not, out it comes and we'll put a good one in, but I think this blade is still good. Let's see what we get. So we got the Martin Williams this morning. Oh yeah, this blade's fine. It was actually in the featherweight last time I used it. I cleaned it and just put it back in the featherweight, and then I went and left it. It happens. Well, let's see what your old push button does on a couple of days worth of growth. I already know what it's going to do. It's going to do just fine. Went yesterday and got me a haircut, as you might be able to tell. Got my ears lowered. It was time. And there's one barber there at the barber shop, a young guy, and he's not, I'm not going to say he's not a good barber, but he doesn't pay as much attention to the details as some of the other barbers too. And he doesn't do as good a job on the the neck shave and this kind of stuff. But I mean, it's still a good haircut. Not going to complain. But I hate to go in and he's standing there with no customers, and Lawrence that owns the shop was working on somebody, and they had a a young lady in there that I didn't know that was giving somebody a haircut. So I hate to say, oh yeah, I'm just gonna wait on one of these others. I don't know why I don't like doing that, but I don't. So anyway, I got a haircut, got my ears lowered. It's not like it's that complicated a thing when I go get a haircut. But I think he left the top a little bit too long. And I could have said, oh, let's take a little bit more off the top. But, you know, I was really looking forward at that time to going by the cigar store and having a cigar. It ended up I didn't, but that's what had been my first plan. I got back out in traffic, went over and grabbed me a bite to eat. And all of a sudden I was tired of traffic. I was tired of people. So I just came home. I went back later to the cigar store. Because who doesn't like people? What can I say? And like I've said before, people always say, oh, you mean you don't like talking to people? I said, no, I don't like people. Alrighty. So today is also going to be a post office day, so if you're expecting a package to be mailed out, it's quite possible to get mailed out today. There ain't no guarantees. And I've also got to put a brake line on the expedition, so it's going to be a busy day. I didn't do any of that yesterday because I really wanted a day off, so I get to make up for it today. So as you see here, the push button does a fine job, just like any of them. Razor, razor, blade, blade. But you know, I don't use a lot of this newfangled stuff. I prefer the older stuff. But the thing about it is, these are not really hard to find, especially featherweights. You see them everywhere. They're good. They're good for starter razors. They're good for experienced people razors. There's people that have been doing this a while and they really love their featherweights. There's a reason for that. I mean, they're good. So, a couple easy to find with good shaves, inexpensive. They're not really expensive to pick up, and you know you get a good combination. So let's take a look here. Well, first, let's take another look at the coffee cup. Well, these are the ones. I don't know of a quiet way to drink coffee. Sorry. You always get the slurp, the swallow sounds and everything, and I hate hearing all that. So I understand other people do too. But, you know, good cup of coffee, there's not that much more. So, all right, get a little witch hazel on here. Check it out. How'd we do? I think we did all right. I feel a little roughness in the normal areas where we do our touch-ups. And we're going to come back down in front of the ear here, along the jawline, and under the old chin, and back down the jawline, in front of this one. And right down here on the neck. We're going to do this. Just like that. That's going to be our shave. So there we go. That's going to do it for today. Williams Wednesday on Thursday morning. You don't tell, I won't tell. Let it be okay. No real big deal. So speaking of people running into people in vehicles, I went by my new bank just yesterday morning now. And it's a new bank because they bought out my bank. So I got to switch over whether I wanted to or not. So anyway, I went by the new bank and ordered some checks because I still like to write a check for the rent. Sue me, whatever. And I'm coming out, and I'm coming out on the road, and there's traffic coming from the left, and they've stopped because they're going to make a turn to their left. And I was going to pull out and go because I'm making a right-hand turn. And just about the time I went to go, this Jeep comes running up behind the car that stopped and comes around on the right side on the shoulder to pass and go around him. If I'd have pulled out, T-bone time. And what upset me the most was that he didn't see me wave a finger at him. And then when I got up beside him at the light, I was making a right-hand turn. He was going late. I waved the full finger at him again, and he had his head down on the phone, and he didn't see me. So that's two chances he had to see me waving a finger at him, and he didn't see either one. It was disappointing. But anyway, that's how people drive around here. That's normal for someone to be stopped. They'll use the right-hand turn lane to go around people. I've complained about this before. And but that was actually a pretty close call, because I was fixing to pull out and go about my business. And once you check that way and everything's good, you look back the other way, make sure nobody's making a turn in or whatever, and then you go. Don't always look back to the left again. A lot of people don't. Fuzzy does. Especially around here. So anyway, there's my traffic story for the day, and the wake up story for the day, and this, that, and the other. We're going to splash on a little bit of the citrus musk. If you haven't used the Pinal citrus musk, it is a recommended aftershave by Fuzzy. It's just Pinal citrus musk, and it actually says cologne on it, but it's an aftershave. It lasts for a little while. It's a really pleasant scent. This is also one of the scents that I'll sometimes splash on just before I go to bed, because I think it helps me sleep. I don't know. Maybe it's all in my head. But anyway, you have a great day wherever you are, and I'm going to probably go back and catch me a nap and be lazy before I have to get up and run errands today. And wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever you're doing, remember, as I said the other day, I think it was Abraham Lincoln that said, whatever you are, be good at it. And happy shades to you.